All right. Hello, it's 11:23 on the East Coast here. Got up this morning, groggy, drove almost an hour out of the way to go to uh, damn it. I can't think. I'm really messed up here. But we drove all the way out of the way not quite an hour. It's 45 minutes out of the way. Somebody drove me out to Pikeville, Kentucky. So just so we can go to the hospital there and do an MRI. Well, an MRI and then an MRI with contrast. Then we ate at the Golden Corral, which I had 2 regular plates and then one of dessert, but I made sure to only eat a little bit of each plate because I didn't want to stuff myself. So there's a little bit of pot roast, a little bit of cheesy potato bake, little bit of or something and then popcorn shrimp. Oh yeah, baked chicken. But I didn't eat every one of them except for the popcorn shrimp. But I left a portion of the baked chicken, it was just a flat patty. It didn't even have bones in it. So I mean, portion of the cheesy potato bake, and then a portion of the pot roast. Second plate, I had one fried chicken thigh and a roll. Again, didn't eat the entirety of either so that I didn't feel like a pig. And then the dessert plate, I put on the plate a piece of chocolate cake and 2 brownies and what was the third one? Oh yeah, a small piece of pecan pie. Pecan pie I ate all except for the outer crust, the outer shell there. I left a good portion of the chocolate pie and I ate one of the chocolate brownies and left a portion of the other. But it turned out that's all I've had to eat today, so I still feel pretty sated. Sometimes you struggle with that weight. I've had a bigger issue on eating, on fighting the want to just continue eating than I did smoking or drinking. Seriously. I would sometimes smoke at work or at home or smoked the cigarillos. I've smoked cigarettes. It's nothing I need though. Just one day I sat down and packed, like, all right, done. Nothing. But yeah, after we ate at Golden Corral, I had to go grab a few things and then heading home. And I tried to make a few phone calls, no avail. And then about a little after Well, right around 6 o'clock in my room, as I was sitting there, I just passed out. That's kind of been the entirety of my day. Because, see, we left at 11 something, which I don't know why we left that early. I have no idea why, but yeah, essentially I woke up at 9 something and got ready and took a shower and all that stuff. My beard is a mess because when I came home and laid down on the bed and passed out, it was just straight into the bed. Yeah. So yeah, a nap for almost 5 hours. It's gonna throw my schedule back off where I was trying to fight and deal with everything. And I got to go back Tuesday and have another MRI. For rest of them, it was a two-part thing. I had to get a regular one and then one with contrast today, and then I've got to do the same thing Tuesday. Uh, oh well. A little gnat that keeps flying around. I'll give you a piece of my damn fist if you don't stop. Oh, goodness. Anyway, now that I've kind of explained my day, that's how this Friday's kind of went. Let's talk about a number of different things. Sorry, stripping the label off the bottle. We can talk about we'll do our normal talk about the headlines. Quit sticking to my fingers. Get over there. Stay. Anyway, let's take a look. I am so. That's why I'm still kind of groggy and out of it. I just woke up from that napping. Let's look at the NFL week 1 and see what it says. So we had the Eagles beat the Falcons by 6 points, and I saw the last of it. The Falcons apparently even got really close driving down the field, but the Eagles was able to hold them. So the Super Bowl champs of this previous Super Bowl faced the Super Bowl losers of the Super Bowl before. I barely held on. So it was a close one. It was a tough one, which is nice. You want good games. That's why I kind of fell off watching the NFL in the first place, is because the Patriots are so freaking dominant every damn year. You don't want to see the same team over and over and over and over and over. Hold on, I'm not done. And over and over and over. Yeah. So it's one reason why I quit watching the NFL. I did get kind of bored of seeing the Patriots in it every freaking year. It's bad for the sport. It is. We're going to go with sports first. Let's take also a look at I think NBA already over with. Where is it? Because, yeah, I think they don't start until November. Because college ends in March. That means they end in about April or May. Maybe later. But this previous one, the Warriors beat Cleveland 4-0. And with LeBron James gone, I see Cleveland sinking into the depths again. If I was Cleveland fans, I wouldn't trust LeBron. He's left you in the lurch twice. I'm going to get drafted by Cleveland. And then I'm going to go to Miami. Hey, I'm coming back to Cleveland. Times get tough. I'm going to the Lakers. And then, of course, I have the gut feeling that he'll try to return to Cleveland when he retires. So he can say, see, I'm retiring as a Cavalier. Someone who does that is not to be cheered as a hometown player. Someone who's a hometown player who is someone who spends their entire career with the organization through thick and thin. Because they love the team. It's not, oh, let me leave and try to see who else I can win with. That's just my opinion. On the other side of it, LeBron's not a bad guy. But yeah, it's just, that kind of thing bothers me. Well, you'll leave a team in the lurch just because the situation isn't to your liking. You know, show some love and faith in where you play, where you're from. That's all I say. Again, as a person, dude's all right. He contributes a lot to those in need. Fights for great things like when he had the T-shirt that says "I can't breathe," and protesting how Eric Garner ends up. I think it was his name, Eric Garner, the African American who was killed for selling single cylinder. I told you I cannot talk today. The African American that was killed selling single cigarettes. It's actually quite a mouthful. But he was protesting how he died. I can't breathe. And that's perfectly fine. That's wonderful to bring attention to. And the fact that he's helped with all these schools, everything else. Like I said, he's a good guy. I just I don't like when a player in sports bounces around from team to team. So that's kind of my qualm with it. Um, so yeah. Um, what else is there? Baseball. We're still waiting on the finalization of who will be in the playoffs, but it's looking pretty set right now. My team's the Tampa Bay Rays are in just the wild card race, but I don't think they're going to make it in this year. It's kind of been their luck. We've had so many horrible years, and then Madden came along, straightened out the team. We even got to a World Series because we're not a big market like the Yankees, who are, hey, let's just toss out this money like crazy. That's why I think there needs to be a salary cap in which every team can compete, not just like hold it at a certain level, but it needs to be at a level where every team can match. And to salary cap it, say, well, this is that way they can't spend that much, but what about the other team? Because some teams don't even aren't even close to that on spending. So even in that regards, they're still spending way more than other teams, and we're in the same freaking division as the Yankees and the Red Sox. So we have to deal with that every freaking year. I mean, for goodness sake, that's like being in the same, well, being in the same division as the Patriots, or during the era Manning was in Indianapolis, if you'd have the Patriots and Colts in your same division there, you have no chance. Even though your team overall is doing pretty good. 12-4 ain't enough to get you in that playoff. So that's kind of my point there. You need to level it down to where every team has a chance of hitting that cap. And thus being competitive. And maybe it's not just a salary cap they should introduce. It should be a salary cap and something far more aggressive than just, hey, these are team taxes they have to pay out for how much they spend or for being the richest team. No, maybe something like far more of their games are going to be away games because they've won the last 3 championships in a row. If you're a true fan, you like it when it's more equivalent. But unfortunately, it also pushes you away from being a fan, from somebody who watches, when it's the same team over and over. That's why I got tired of baseball for a long while. Yankees over and over and over and over. Because, yeah, I lived through the 90s and it was just. It might have been great for Yankees fans, but for everyone else, it was misery. What else? Hockey. I think hockey is actually getting ready to start, isn't it? NHL. Yeah, I do believe hockey is getting ready to start. Yeah, it's in the preseason. Do, do, do. Nine, 15, 16, 17. So, yeah, it's in the preseason. It hasn't officially even started that yet, but the preseason games are getting ready to begin. That's kind of cool. It said go down. Whatever. And how long does that preseason last? Nine 22. So it looks like most of September. Oh, there's October in the regular season. Really did. But it looks like it'll be most of September and the regular season will start right around October, so it's getting ready to kick up. So baseball's in the last month before it begins the playoffs. The NFL's just started. College has just started. Hockey will begin right around October because preseason starts here in about a week or so. NBA should start here soon. So if you're a sports fan, this is a good time of the year. What else we got to wonder about? World League. Yeah, World Cup. That's going on. I was getting ready to say, I know there's a big soccer tournament, or football, as the rest of the nation calls it. I see soccer because we already have a football, so. Took place June and July of 2018. Okay, so the FIFA World Cup's already been played. I knew they had already played quite a bit of soccer. I just didn't know what else is going on. I think tennis is going on as well. So Djokovic defeated Nishikori, and Del Potro looks like he beat Rafael Nadal. That's Osaka beat Keys, and of course Serena Williams. She is devastating in tennis. She's so damn good at scary. There's not even an equivalency on the men's side. She beat Sebastova. Doubles. Mixed doubles. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Tennis is going on. I don't know. U.S. Open. Okay, that's what that was. It ends in a couple days. I think the golf season, NASCAR started a couple of weeks ago, but not really into that. BMW Championship leaderboard. Okay, so yeah, golf is going on as well. Okay. That's kind of our rundown of the world of sports. And as always, I'm a big fan of the Hokies. College football, collegiate sports. Yeah, there's many teams, but my primary one, Virginia Tech. Um, Professional football, Carolina Panthers. Professional baseball, Tampa Bay Rays. Professional basketball, probably the Boston Celtics. Um, Professional hockey. I don't really have a team. Um, I kind of bounce around and watch it a little bit. I was a big fan of Dominik Hasek for a long time when he played because it was fun to watch him play goalie. He was pretty good. Oh yeah, in college basketball, I enjoy the Hokies, but I'm a Kentucky Wildcat fan because literally I may live in Virginia, but I'm like not that far from the Kentucky border, so I am a Kentucky Wildcat fan too. I'm a lesser fan on their football more, and that's more my Hokie season, but college basketball, yeah. Kentucky Wildcat. Um, yeah, that's why I say I am a fan. Because that's when you're still cheering even through that mm, horrible first 15 years of the franchise. I don't care. I rooted for them even though it was ridiculous. When they finally were doing pretty good, I was like, woo! But now we're finished with sports. Um, let's see. What else can I talk about? Oh, yeah. News headlines. Like I said, I'm so out of it today, it's just not even funny. Not the Nintendo Entertainment System. Company. The news. The news. George Papadopoulos sentenced to 14 days for his role in the Russia scandal. What else do we have? Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro lost 40% of blood in stabbing. Mr. Bolsonaro's family say the knife had penetrated 12 centimeters, or approximately 4.7 inches, into his abdomen. Youch. Mac Miller, who collaborated with rap royalty, dies at age 26. What is it with musicians that die at about 26, 27? Uh, the lead singer of The Doors, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, always around 26 or 27. It's like, it makes you wonder, is there something there? At the news of his death, Chance the Rapper tweeted, I don't know what to say, Mac Miller. I don't know what to say. Mac Miller took me to on my second tour ever. So somebody who wasn't big on his own, but he worked with all the big names. Huh. LA Times owner, I would absolutely defend news media rivals. Apparently from Trump. Just reading the headlines here. Let's open it up and see if we can't get the majority of the headline. LA Times owner, I would absolutely defend news media rivals from President Trump's attacks. So yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Trump has opened up a can of worms in this country, and it's just everything's falling apart because of him. Dallas cop fatally shoots neighbor in apartment she mistakes for her, I guess, ex. Or stalker. And that's Fox News. Not real news. Now look at it, page 1. Kavanaugh avoids Dem traps as chaotic hearing winds down. It's not Dem traps. Look at this that we're not allowed to read. Can you answer? That's not a trap. That's called a hearing. But of course, Fox News is so damn biased. Tesla shares sink after key executives exit. Elon Musk, unfortunately, seems to have a bit of pomposity that makes him really, he's so egotistical, and it leads to trouble for him, and he don't seem to realize it. As much as your ego can sometimes help you in places, it can also be a severe downfall. Like with the cases of the Taiwan rescue, trying to accuse that one guy of being a pedo and never even there. And now photos are surfacing showing that the guy was at the rescue site. He was helping. And he hasn't been able to, Elon Musk hasn't been able to shut his mouth and just be okay, say, I was wrong. But no, he has to keep running his mouth, get himself in trouble, get himself in a court case. Oh, well. And then he was in trouble for supposedly smoking pot. And I watched the footage. It's like, okay, really, honestly, pot should be legal in the first place anyway. Let's move on to other news. Manafort weighing plea deal to avoid new criminal trial. Huh. Well. Trump executives face U.S. campaign finance probe. Because federal prosecutors in Manhattan are investigating whether anyone in the Trump organization violated campaign finance law. Sounds like what else we got going on? And page 3 of Google. Fox News. It wasn't me. List of senior officials who deny writing the New York Times op-ed. Let's see. Woman and son critically injured in giraffe attack. Apple versus Amazon battle of the Titans. Apple's really bloated in name. It don't have that good of products. I don't know why they're so high. I mean, honestly, it's just, eh. I've never cared for Apple. All right, so there's our news. Let's look at science. Home to those great Titans of knowledge. Yes, but yeah, science. Uh, Still discussions on the burning of the Brazil's national, not natural, but national museum. Huh, that's interesting. Scientists have figured out how strawberries, which have the youngest known sex chromosomes of any plant or animal, made their recent something. So the youngest sex chromosomes of any plant or animal, strawberries. Well, peer reviewers in developing nations are underrepresented. Combined, scientists spend nearly 70 million hours peer reviewing manuscripts for scholarly journals every year, a new report says. I mean, honestly, peer review scientists, just those who read and review other theorems, they're so important just for verification or to look up any mistakes that a presenting scientist may make or other peer reviewers have made. If politicians were better at science, tech companies would probably promote or innovate better, according to Elon Musk. Well, I won't disagree with him there. Unfortunately, there's too much of a push of you got to believe good. This climate stuff don't really exist. This is not real. My good tells me so. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not against religion. I'm just against religious people who push their ideologies on everyone else. And then, unfortunately, it seems all too often in this world. If you want to worship, by all means, worship. But don't push your ideology on other people. Today in history. Today in 1813, the United States nicknamed the world's first sub-US during the Revolution. Today in 1864, Atlanta is evacuated during the Civil War. Today in 1996, Tupac Shakur was shot. Today in 1986, Desmond Tutu becomes the Archbishop. Today in 1876, Minnesotans nearly wipe out the James Younger Gang. Today in 1977, President Carter agrees to transfer the Panama Canal to Panama. I mean, that just makes sense. See, he was a common sense, good person. But because America was probably going through one of the worst periods with everything else, he was left holding the bag. And we ended up with one of the worst presidents ever, Ronald Reagan. It's Reagan's FCC that destroyed uh, an act that required media to be truthful. So yeah, but anyway, those are our stories on what's kind of gone on. It's now past midnight here, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Saturday morning, Tuesday, I've got to go back to Pikeville for more MRIs, so that'll be fun. Another round of scanning my head, sticking contrast in me, and yeah. Getting a real observation of my brain and spine. So that'll be enjoyable. Then what's bad, I've got to turn around after I go Tuesday for that. I got to go Wednesday for a podiatry appointment. It's where I'm diabetic and have neuropathy. Gotta watch out for my feet. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think one of the things I may one of the things I may start doing, we may practice some foreign language together. We'll go through some Spanish, some Japanese. I don't know about Latin, but I may end up doing Latin as well, since I have the textbooks for it. We may do that. Making up voices. I've been watching too much Boogie. Because apparently he's from the same area I am when he grew up. Now he, of course, lives in Arkansas, but he talked about going to the Wise Fairgrounds for Ram and the St. Paul pool and stuff. I'm like, those are both places from the same county I'm from. That's, of course, I live on the far side of the county, but yeah. It's kind of cool. Um, but I guess for today, that'll be it. I've already talked about 57 minutes. So, guys, gals, educate thyself. I mean, honestly, read, study, learn. I mean, it's not something you have to constantly do, but to provide a little more knowledge, a little extra, would be wonderful. Read a book, understand what that book provides, and suddenly my camera connection is trying to slow down on me. But yeah, study, learn. And just want to tell you that there are always people that care about you. I care about you. Don't do anything to hurt yourself. To, you know, that's too drastic that you'll regret later. There's always going to be a person that cares about you. No matter how bad the situation seems. And with that, I guess I'm done for now. We'll talk another time. Later.